Hi, I'm Mr. Pipsley and I'm glad to see you all here on this channel. If you're interested in hearing a story about zombies and how they took over the world, then you're in for a treat. But before I begin, I want to encourage you to like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. By doing so, you'll be able to stay up to date with all the latest content and never miss out on any exciting stories. So sit back, relax, and let's delve into the world of zombies. I promise it'll be a thrilling ride. Once upon a time, in a world full of zombies, there were 5 plant friends who lived in a garden. They were sunflower, eggplant, corn, watermelon, and cabbage. These 5 plants were unique in that they had the ability to walk, talk, and even play games. They were also the guardians of the garden and the last line of defense against the zombie hordes. One day, the zombies in the nearby city decided that they were tired of their boring lives of wandering aimlessly and eating brains. They wanted a new challenge. And what could be more exciting than playing football? So they gathered their best players and formed a team of zombie football players. The zombie football team was made up of some of the most famous zombies in the world, including the legendary zombie Ronaldo, zombie Messi, and zombie Neymar. They were known for their speed, agility, and their incredible ability to eat brains while playing football. The zombie football team quickly gained a reputation for being unbeatable. No team in the world could defeat them. They were so confident in their abilities that they challenged the plants to a game of football. At first, the plants were hesitant. They had never played football before, and they knew that the zombie team was made up of some of the best players in the world. But then Sunflower had an idea. She suggested that they use their unique abilities to their advantage. They decided to recruit the best zombie scientists and zombie builders in the world to create special equipment for them. They had zombie scientists create a special sunflower seed launcher that would shoot seeds at the zombie players, slowing them down and making them easier to tackle. The zombie builders created a giant corn cannon that could launch corn kernels at the zombie players, causing them to slip and slide all over the field. They also created a watermelon catapult that would launch watermelons at the zombie players, knocking them off their feet. The day of the game arrived, and the plants were ready. They had their special equipment and were ready to take on the zombie football team. The game started, and it was clear that the zombie team was in for a surprise. Sunflower launched seeds at the zombie players, and they slowed down. Corn launched kernels, causing the zombie players to slip and slide. Watermelons were flying through the air, knocking the zombie players off their feet. The plants were winning the game, and the zombie football players were getting angrier and angrier. They had never been defeated before, and they didn't know how to handle it. Zombie Ronaldo was so angry that he started eating the referee's brains, causing the game to come to a halt. The plants knew that they had to act fast. They came up with a plan to distract the zombie players. Eggplant used his hypnotic powers to make the zombie players think that the brains they were eating were actually vegetables. The zombie players started eating carrots, broccoli, and cabbage, completely forgetting about the game. The plants took advantage of the distraction and scored the winning goal. They had defeated the zombie football team and had proven that plants could be just as good at football as zombies. The zombie players were so embarrassed that they disappeared into the city, never to be seen again. The plants celebrated their victory and went back to their garden, happy and content. From that day on, the plants were known as the best football team in the world. They had defeated the unbeatable zombie football team, and nothing could stop them. They continued to use their unique abilities to their advantage and became the champions of the garden. And so the garden lived happily ever after, with the plants playing football every day and the zombies staying far away, too embarrassed to show their faces again. But little did the plants know, the zombie scientists were not done yet. They had a new experiment in mind, and it involved the plants themselves. The zombie scientists had been studying the plants for a while and noticed that they had a unique ability to grow and reproduce quickly. They wanted to harness this ability and create a new type of zombie plant that could take over the world. The zombie scientists secretly sneaked into the garden one night and started to experiment on the plants. They injected them with a special serum that was meant to turn them into zombie plants. But the plants were not easily defeated. They had fought off zombies before, and they were not going to let a group of zombie scientists turn them into something they were not. They banded together and used their special abilities to fight back. Sunflower used her sunbeam to blind the zombie scientists, while Corn and Watermelon launched their special attacks, causing chaos and confusion. Eggplant used his hypnotic powers to make the zombie scientists think they were chickens, and Cabbage used her tough exterior to protect the other plants. The plants fought bravely and eventually defeated the zombie scientists. They had saved themselves from becoming zombie plants, and had once again proved that they were the guardians of the garden. The plants went back to their normal lives, playing football and protecting the garden from any zombie threats. They never forgot the night that they had to fight off the zombie scientists, but they were proud of themselves for coming out on top. As for the zombie scientists, they learned their lesson and decided to leave the plants alone. They went back to the drawing board and started to work on a new project, one that did not involve the plants. And so the garden continued to thrive, with the plants playing football and enjoying their lives. They were happy to be alive and were grateful for each other's unique abilities. They knew that as long as they banded together and used their special powers, they could overcome any challenge that came their way. And with that, the story ends. The plants lived happily ever after, protected by their unique abilities and their unwavering courage. But little did they know, a new threat was brewing in the neighboring garden. A group of zombie builders had been watching the plants and had decided that they wanted to build a new house in the middle of the garden. They didn't care about the plants or their football games, they just wanted to build. The plants were alarmed when they saw the zombie builders arrive. They knew that they had to act fast if they were going to protect their home. Sunflower, eggplant, corn, watermelon, and cabbage banded together once again and decided to take action. They used their unique abilities to create a fortress around their garden, making it impossible for the zombie builders to enter. Sunflower used her sunbeam to create a blinding light, while Eggplant used his hypnotic powers to confuse the zombie builders. Corn and Watermelon launched their attacks, causing chaos and destruction, while Cabbage used her tough exterior to protect the other plants. Together, they were an unstoppable force, and they knew that they had to keep fighting until the zombie builders were defeated. The zombie builders were not easily deterred, however. They were determined to build their house in the garden, no matter what it took. They brought in their zombie football players, hoping that they would be able to overpower the plants. But the plants were ready for them. They had been practicing their football skills and were prepared to take on the zombie football players. They created a team of their own, using their unique abilities to outsmart and outmaneuver the zombies. Sunflower used her quick reflexes to catch the ball, while Corn and Watermelon used their special attacks to get past the zombie defense. Eggplant used his hypnotic powers to confuse the zombie football players, while Cabbage used her strength to tackle them to the ground. In the end, the plants won the football game and defeated the zombie builders once and for all. They were proud of themselves for protecting their home and defeating the zombies. As they celebrated their victory, they realized that they had all become great friends. They had learned to work together and use their unique abilities to overcome any challenge that came their way. They knew that they were a great team, and they were proud to call each other their friends. And so the garden continued to thrive, with the plants playing football and enjoying their lives. They knew that there would always be new challenges and threats, but they were confident that they could overcome them together. As for the zombie builders and football players, they decided to give up their quest to build in the garden. They realized that they could not defeat the plants and their unique abilities. Instead, they decided to find a new home, one where they could build without any interference. But just as the plants were settling back into their daily routine, a new threat emerged. A group of zombie scientists had returned, but this time they had a new plan. They had created a powerful zombie virus that could turn any plant into a zombie. The plants knew that they had to act fast if they were going to stop the zombie scientists from spreading the virus. They came up with a plan to infiltrate the zombie lab and destroy the virus before it could be released. Sunflower used her sunbeam to create a distraction while Eggplant used his hypnotic powers to get past the guards. Corn and Watermelon launched their attacks, causing chaos and confusion, while Cabbage used her tough exterior to protect the other plants. The plants managed to get into the zombie lab undetected and found the virus. But just as they were about to destroy it, the zombie scientists caught them in the act. A fierce battle ensued, with the plants using their unique abilities to fight off the zombie scientists. Sunflower used her sunbeam to blind the scientists, while Eggplant used his hypnotic powers to confuse them. Corn and Watermelon launched their attacks, causing chaos and destruction, while Cabbage used her strength to tackle the zombie scientists to the ground. It was a tough battle, but the plants were determined to protect their home. In the end, the plants emerged victorious once again. They had destroyed the zombie virus and had defeated the zombie scientists once and for all. They knew that they could never let their guard down and that they would always have to be prepared for any new threats that might emerge. As they looked around at their garden, they realized how much they had grown and how much they had learned. They had come a long way since they first started playing football, and they knew that they were stronger together than they could ever be alone. And so the plants continued to play football and protect their home from any new threats that might come their way. They were grateful for each other's unique strengths and abilities, and knew that they could overcome any challenge as long as they worked together. As for the zombie scientists, they learned their lesson and decided to give up their plans to turn the plants into zombies. They realized that the plants were not to be underestimated, and that they were a powerful force to be reckoned with. The plants lived happily ever after, protected by their unique abilities and their unwavering friendship. They knew that they could never let their guard down, and that they would always have to be prepared for any new challenges that might come their way. But they were ready for anything, as long as they had each other. But little did they know a new challenge was about to arise. As they were celebrating their victory, a horde of zombie football players appeared on the horizon. The plants gasped in horror as they saw their former football rivals, now transformed into brain-eating zombies, charging towards them. "We have to do something," shouted Corn. "We can't let them destroy our garden," said Watermelon. "But how are we going to stop them?" asked Eggplant. Sunflower stepped forward. "I have an idea," she said. "We'll use the power of friendship to turn them back into normal football players." The other plants looked at her skeptically. "Friendship?" said Cabbage. "How is that going to work?" "Just trust me," said Sunflower. "I have a plan." And with that, Sunflower began to sing a cheerful song about friendship and teamwork. The other plants joined in, adding their own harmonies and melodies. At first, the zombie football players seemed unaffected, continuing to charge towards them. But as the song continued, something strange began to happen. The zombies started to slow down, their limbs becoming less rigid, and their eyes beginning to clear. The plants continued to sing, pouring all of their love and energy into the song. And just when they thought it was over, the zombie football players stopped in their tracks, their eyes returning to their normal colors. They looked around in confusion, not knowing what had just happened. But when they saw the plants, they felt a strange warmth inside. They remembered the good times they had shared together, playing football and joking around. "We're so sorry," said the zombie football captain. "We don't know what came over us. We never meant to hurt anyone." "We forgive you," said Sunflower, beaming with joy. "Just promise us that you'll never let it happen again." The zombie football players promised, and the plants welcomed them back as their friends. Together, they played a friendly game of football, laughing and joking as they ran up and down the field. And as the sun began to set, the plants and the zombie football players gathered together in a circle, holding hands and singing the same song about friendship that had saved them all. The end. Well, the story has come to an end. I'm sure you liked this story, and you will like it with pleasure. Also subscribe to our channel and be sure to leave your feedback in the comments under this video. See you in the next video.